At a time when Washington liberals have put our nation, our jobs, and our families in harm's way, we need to get involved. We need a champion.
I think what people can tell is that he's the real deal. He's a real guy with a past very similar to Kansans, and he loves his country.
Well, in Kansas, we see conservative values as the traditions that built a strong state and strong neighborhoods. Hard work, integrity, believing in family, working together, helping people in need.
He's conservative and he's pro-life.
He's out there fighting for the people.
He's probably the most steady person I know, and he's also the most optimistic.
Kansans believe it's important for us to have somebody that they can depend on.
I've worked with almost every member of Congress. Some people you can depend on and some people you can't. Todd Tiahrt was somebody that I could depend on. And I know the people of Kansas depended on him too.
Kansas is America, and Todd Tiahrt is Kansas.
We need someone who can take the fight and keep his wits about him, and Todd can do that.
He cares about people. I think if anything, he's changed D.C. It hasn't changed him.
To understand Todd Tiahrt, who he is, what he cares about, why he works so darn hard, we've got to go back a ways to a small town in south central Kansas. There, Todd Tiahart's ancestors came, put down roots, and started a new life. Todd himself grew up on a family farm where hard work was a given, your word was your bond, and helping neighbors was a badge of honor. Then, Todd Tiahrt worked his way through college, earning a business degree, followed by a master's degree. While there, Todd caught the attention of many for campus leadership, and he caught the eye of someone else who empowered his life.
We met in college. I first saw him walking down the hall, and Todd's a big guy, and he had that football player walk, and we had curfew in those days too. So the girls, we would be in our room, and I would hear a pinging at our second floor window, and it would be Todd throwing rocks up at the window to get my attention. And we would then talk until he got tired of looking up. I still like the way he walks. 33 years, and I still like the way I like the Tiahrt walk.
After college, Todd and Vicki were married and pursued their first priority. They were blessed with 3 wonderful children. And Todd's a businessman who put that experience to work, first with Zenith, then on to the Boeing Company, where he worked on the space station, the Army's Comanche helicopter, and Air Force One.
We really enjoyed our lives with Todd working, and our lives in the community, our church activities, our neighborhood activities, our kids, Little League, basketball, all those things.
And when other families are in trouble, you'll find this family understands the Kansas tradition of helping others.
When there's a tornado, people will go over and dig through the rubble and pull their neighbors out. When they have lost their farm equipment, you'll see other neighbors come over and harvest the wheat for them. It's just a way, if your neighbor's in trouble, you do everything you can to get them out of that situation.
After serving in the Kansas Senate, where colleagues still remember Todd Tiahrt for his steadfastness and courage, unwavering in his belief in life, never yielding in his defense of our constitutional rights, always looking to create jobs and opportunity where none have existed before. Todd Tiahrt then began serving in Congress to change the way Washington does business.
I didn't come up here to make friends. I came up here to try to get something done.
When he first decided to throw his hat into the ring in 1990, he sat down at our kitchen table with a yellow legal pad. And at the top of it, he wrote down, "I believe in good government," and he underlined good. And then the next point he put on the legal pad is fiscal responsibility. And he'll use his master's in business. He'll use his experience at the Boeing Company. He'll use all of that energy for fiscal responsibility and for good government.
I put my record against anybody in Washington because I have remembered who I am, where I come from. My family's important to me. They're first. My faith is important to me. I believe in integrity, honesty, hard work, and those are the values that Kansans hold dear, and I'm going to represent them in Washington while I'm here.
Todd Tiahrt came to Washington to stand for us, to stop taxes that exhaust our spirit, spending that drains our wallets, debt that punishes our children, and liberal policies that rob us of our jobs, financial security, and values. Todd and Vicki Tiahrt knew what they were getting into when they decided they could no longer look the other way. In a Kansas story that goes back more than a century, our state, our families, and our children will be so much better for it. Send this Kansan to the United States Senate and know he'll work for us, he'll fight for us, he'll stand for us. He always has.